completed my
This conference will now be
Workday
recorded.
orchestration too. Okay. Yeah. So let me quickly walk through what all we are going to cover in this course content. And basically, this course is designed based on the Workday Core Integration Certification Program. The course is similar to the Workday Core Integrations. So Workday Core Integrations is, it's the essential certification to land into the Workday integrations. So, and one more thing, guys, my way of demo will be completely different. So I don't have any slides. I just explain you what all I'm going to teach. Okay. Yeah. It's not like, because this is the world of chat GPT, right? If you give about the workday, you get a lot of information. So on already, I assume those who have joined this demo, you might have done some homework on what is workday and everything. And with that intention, I'm quickly diving into the what all we are going to teach. So how many of you in this, in this group already know Workday or have attended the Workday trainings and are here for a skill upgrade? Anyone? Okay. How many of you see, guys? Please don't put the thumbs. Okay, so like
So Arjun,
I cannot see the screen. Yeah.
most
Hmm.
of the people you see in this group are already part of HCM. We already had training on HCM,
Hmm.
and we
Okay.
just wanted to check like how integrations would work, and that's the reason we joined this demo session.
Okay. So when you say the HCM, right? So you have the hands-on experience on HCM, or you got trained on HCM?
So we did have a few practice sessions
Hmm.
among us, and also
Hmm.
like while the training was happening, the trainer did share the screen and like show us the
Hmm.
navigation through the process, like
Hmm.
what all
I
needed
got
to
you.
be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me summarize your HCM then. Okay. So that like I hope as part of the HCM, you might have, you know, uh, you might have completed the organizations and the staffings, right? And you might have gone through the business process, and you might have gone through the security, right? Yeah. So the integrations is something, which is after the HCM, guys. Okay. So actually, there is no link between integration and HCM, but HCM knowledge is always, it's essential for the testing purpose. All right. So what is an integration? Why do we you build these integrations, right? So, like integrations is nothing but it's the job in simple terms. If you take like some other ERP systems, or some, if you take any other system like Informatica or any other middleware systems, right? So what happens? We schedule a job. What this job do? This job will transfer the files or a data from one system to other system. So similarly in Workday also we have two different types of integrations. Inbound, one is outbound. One is inbound, one is outbound. So what is this inbound and what is this outbound? So assume this is the workday. For example, if data is coming into the workday from the target system, right? So the best example is, how many of you are working in this group? Any one of you, can you please unmute yourself? The working employee. Okay, fine. So we all swipe our access cards or ID card when we enter into the office, right? So what are those devices which you see? Once you enter your office, you swipe your ID card on a black device, or you place your thumb or a finger on the biometric device. So what is that used for? It's basically called as a time tracking device. This is the device which tracks your in time and out time, right? So this device is an external device, or it's an external application or external system. Now, how do you get this data into Workday? So you'll be having some inbound connectors. You need to build some inbound integration, because here you're pulling the data into the Workday from other system. Means data is coming into the Workday. So that is called as an inbound integration. And simple, I'll give you one more example. Inbound is inflow to the Workday. For example, inflow is nothing but you have a dam, right? If the water is coming into the dam, it's inflow. If they release the gates, then it's called as an outflow. Similarly, here also, if data is coming into the Workday through integration, we call it as inbound integration. And similarly, what is outbound? If data is coming out from the Workday, if data is coming out from Workday is called as outbound. Okay. Yeah. For example, now, who process your payroll? Right? You have a lot of payroll vendors across the globe. You have Ceridian, you have ADP, you have Ramco systems, you have SAP, right? There are so many systems which process the payroll. So for this payroll, what is the data required? I mean, right? They need your compensation details, they need your bank account details, they need your leave of absence details for the payroll processing, and they also need your PAN numbers if you're based out of India, or SSN numbers if you're based out of US, and different country payrolls again, right? So in India, it's monthly, and if it's US, it's bi-weekly. So, you see, like, there are a lot of things on the payroll side. So for all these things, Workday is the source of data. This data should be sent from Workday only. So we need to build the payroll integrations outbound because Workday should send the data to the ADP to process your payroll. This is called as outbound integrations, means data is going from Workday to the outbound integrations. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts on this inbound and outbound before I go into next one? Okay, I take it as no. Fine. Now, what are the topics which we are going to see? Okay. So as part of this integrations, okay, this is only like a specific integration course, and and this is the content which I'm going to. Let me know if you have any specific topics, guys. Okay, so we can try to add it up. Okay. Introduction to Workday. So I'm not sure like how many are going to join in this. So if everyone is already into the Workday, then I can skip this introduction to Workday. If any one of you is new to the tenant, then then I go with the introduction chapter. Okay. Yeah. So in this chapter, generally, I walk through the do's and don'ts of tenant. What we should follow in the tenant and what we should do in the tenant, what we should don't do in the tenant. Okay, so it's completely about the introduction to the Workday, like what are the different types of tenants which we see, like how many implementations, how many sandbox tenant, and how many production tenant, and how do you migrate the reports or the integrations from one tenant to other tenant. So all these things we see in the first chapter, introduction to the Workday. Next thing is we go to reporting, guys. So have you guys completed any reports here?
Our last trainer, he said that reporting is also going to be covered under this integration class.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So as part of integrations, okay, we cover simple report, which is a basic report, and advanced report, and calculated fields. Okay.
So, are you going to teach about the reporting tools in the advanced report?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
So, are you going to teach us the reporting tools in the advanced report? If yes, what are the tools?
There is no reporting tool. Okay, so everything is going to be on the Workday tenant. If it's something which you're asking for BIRT, it's
Yes,
a
yeah.
business intelligence reporting tool. No, it's not covered here because it's something on the studio and it's advanced reporting. I mean, you need to write some bit of a code and everything. It's a designing one. That is not part of this code. If it's about the bird, yeah, I think it's not covered here. Okay. So because it's not related to integrations, BERT is something which is not related to integrations. Okay. Yeah. So advanced report is something Yeah. So where you need to learn the calculated fields and you need to put this calculated fields in the advanced report and see how it is working. Yeah. You have a lot of options in the advanced.
So is it enough if we learn only the advanced reporting?
I'm sorry.
I don't know, my voice is echoing. So is this sufficient to learn only the advanced report, or do you suggest us to go further?
Sufficient in the sense like, yeah. So for the integration, advanced report is sufficient. So there is nothing like, see, integration is very vast, I'm telling you. Okay, so now if advanced report is enough for reporting means, if you are going into if you are playing the role as a reporting consultant, then it's something different, I'm telling. Here, if you are playing the role as an integration consultant and as a 2 to 3 years of experience in integrations, yes, it's sufficient. Okay. But if you are playing the role of reporting consultant, then you need to learn all the type of reports. But here, this is integrations. Yes, for integrations, for 2 to 3 years of experience in the workday, this is sufficient. Okay. Am I clear? I don't know who asked me this question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So simple report, advanced report, and calculated fields. So calculated fields, there are nearly like 20 plus of calculated fields. So, I teach around 15 cal fields. Calculated fields is nothing but it's an advanced logic which you write to fetch the data from the workday. Okay, this logic can be, like it can be either straightforward or, you need to add like multiple logics to meet the requirement. And one more thing, guys, all these things I'm going to build it in the workday. I'm going to show in the workday. And it's not like I show the existing and, we end the classes. So everything is build mode, which is nothing but everything is implementation mode. After this calculated fields, take up integration security. Okay, I take up integration security. So in this integration security, we see, I'm not sure if you guys have covered security in the HCM. Here we have something like ISSG, ISU, domain permissions. So ISSG is called as Integration System Security Group, ISU, Integration Security User, and domain permissions. These are very essential for any integration to get launched. Why means now, in general, once you complete your integration, right? Once you build the integration, you move this integration to production. Now in the production, this integration should be scheduled either on daily basis or on weekly basis or on monthly basis, whatever it is. So who should launch this integration? There should be someone to kick off the integration, right, at the given schedule and time. So for that, we build the ISU. ISU is nothing but integration system user. It's nothing but a user like us who kick off the integration. Okay, so now some people may ask me again, why ISU? We are there to trigger. Yes, you are there to trigger and you are there to schedule it. To avoid the dependency, Now today, me call Arjun, I can launch the integration at 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. What if Arjun leaves the organization? Or I can schedule the integration at 8 o'clock for next 1 year. If I schedule the integration will be on my name. But what if I leave the organization? Once I leave the organization, my account will become inactive. Then integration won't get triggered. So to avoid all these things, we create a separate integration user and we add the permissions that are required for integration to trigger and to generate the output file. Okay. So for this, we need to have a detail, like deep knowledge on the integration security, where ISSG, ISU, and the domain permissions. Okay. Yeah. So now, once we complete this reporting, we go to the EIB. EIB stands for Enterprise Interface Builder. Here we have inbound and the outbound. So this introduction, I may take like 2 days. Reporting, I take 10 days completely, guys. Okay. And then Enterprise Interface Builder, we take like 2 days. Inbound and outbound. So whatever the advanced report you have built, we use it in the next chapter, EIB, Enterprise Interface Builder. So what is a report in general? Anyone? If I ask what is a report, so can I simply say like it's a collection of data, right? Report is nothing but it's a collection of data from the database or from some source. For example, if I give my blood sample in the path lab, what happens? I get some report, right? Either it can be a diabetic test or it can be some lipid profile. You see everything there, right? You see my name, you see my age, right? You see my time of sample given, and you also see the different test results, right? That means it has some data. Report has a data. Now, this data, the data in the, I mean, the data generated by the advanced report and the calculated fields, it's only for the view only, right? Generally, it's only for the view. But what if you need to convert this report data to .xml and to transfer this .xml file to target system, right? For example, nowadays, most of the companies are using Awardco. I don't know how many of you heard this Awardco. Awardco is nothing but you get some rewards in your office. Reward points or whatever. Just you can Google it out. So Awardco. So let me write the name. Right? This is a target system where it generates the points. Now say like if you complete 5 years work anniversary, Awardco will give you some 1000 points. With this 1000 points, you can purchase some Amazon coupon or something. They have a lot many of options what you can do with that 1000 points. So like this, now for this, we use EIB in general. So here you build a report which includes employee demographic data. So what is again this demographic? Here again, I'm using a new term. It's nothing but the employee personal details, right? Like your date of birth, your date of hire, and also which includes your work details. It's a combination of both personal and the work details. It's a bit PII data or P2 data, means personal identification information, which is a highly confidential data. Now this details, you generate it in the report, but in report you only see it. But EIB. And one more thing, guys, Workday integration always generates the output in the form of .xml. I don't know how many of you know this .xml. Okay, it's a format. Okay, which has a lot of tags to it. Open tag, close tag, and values and all. So this .xml, it's the output file. So EIB, what it will do, outbound EIB, it will convert this report into the .xml, and then it is capable of sending the file to the about go endpoint. Here you need to configure the target delivery system also. So basically EIB is nothing but it's something like Amazon. What does Amazon do? Amazon, it has some third-party vendors. They have the vendors. I bought some iPhone, on Amazon. So what Amazon will do now? Amazon will go to the iPhone vendor. They will pick up my phone, and then finally they will hand it over to me. Same. EIB, what it does? It will take the data from the report. It will convert it into XML, and then it will send it to Avardco. Okay. Yeah, you can think in that way. So here you have outbound and inbound. Outbound is nothing but as data is going from the Workday to the Avardco, it's outbound. The same thing. Inbound. So for the inbound, we can load. So the inbound, I cannot connect to the any other system from Workday because we have some tenant constraints. We cannot connect this to some other target system, or we cannot pull the data from there. So instead, what I'll do, I will load the data through templates. Okay. So basically what happens is this template will be placed in the SFTP of the target system. And once you trigger the integration, this template will be loaded into the target system from the path. But we cannot connect to the target system due to the constraints of the tenant which we have. So instead, I will attach this template from my local machine.
What is the format of the template?
You have it in the Workday. You need to generate as per your need and requirement. So if you ask me the format, it can be like .xsl, Excel format. And some of them also will be in the CSV. Okay. And also you can attach the XML format also, but I don't suggest with XML because XML is tough to understand. I mean, it's a computer-based data. So, like for the humans, it's not that accurate. If someone is speaking, your voice is breaking.
చూడు చెప్పడలేదా
Harsha, can you please be on mute? Yeah. And then we have outbound. This outbound already I have explained, right? So .xl. This is about the EABs. After this, so this one, let me put it as 3 days. 2 days is too short. Yeah. Next we have is core connected worker. So this is nothing but so guys here don't get confused. If I'm putting like 4 days, it means it's 4 hours, guys. Okay. So daily we'll have like 1 hour or max of 1.5 hours sometimes. So this is like I'm giving the hours on an average because with the doubts and all, it can extend also. Okay. Yeah. This is only like for your planning purpose. So for the core connector workers, it's a Workday pre-built configuration integration where you need to configure the core connector to handle the delta changes. So again, it's going to be a new word. Now you can ask me, hey, like we have advanced report. I'll build a complex advanced report, and then we can send the data to the target system. Yes, that's fine. Then why again this core connector? EIB has some limitations. For example, now if there are 2 lakhs of employees, okay. For example, if you go to the TCS has 4 lakhs of employees in India, approximately. Now, daily, sending this 4 lakhs of worker template or worker data to our ecosystem, now, for example, if you take me, I joined TCS 2 years back and, daily sending my same data to the award go. It's of no use. So daily they keep on adding my data there. This beautiful core connector, it will only send the worker data if there is any change in the worker data. For example, now I changed my home address. Yes. From Bangalore, I moved to Mumbai. Then in Workday, I will change my home address. So now core connector will detect a change in my worker profile, right? So it will only send my change address. It will only send my changes. What are the changes? Address line 1, like house number, flat number, street number, area, okay? And zip code or pin code, state, all these things. So what is that called as? It called as a delta changes. Means whenever there is a change detection, that core connector notices in the worker profile in Workday, it only sends the details to the target system. Now see, instead of sending 4 lakhs of employees daily to AwardCo through EIB, if it's a core connector, now whenever you go to the AwardCo and you discuss with that business and you take the requirement, daily sending 4 lakhs of employee details. Just assume the file size. Right? 4 lakhs employees in one single file. Just assume how much file size it would be. It will be some GBs, like 50 GB or 60 GB file. Because along with the 4 lakh employee data, workers, you also have the personal information or demographic information. So obviously it will be some huge GB. But core connector, what it will do? It will only send if there is a change in worker. Now, if someone of you have changed your phone number, yes, so it will only change. It will only send your phone number. So whatever is a change, only those details will be sent. Now automatically it will be, now the file will be in MB, and it will be easy for the target system also to load into this. So EIB we use for the full file concept. Core connector we use for the delta changes concept. Okay, that's the beauty of the core connector. I'm telling you guys, without core connectors and without EIBs, you don't have, it's very tough to handle. So it's a combination of both the things. But in core connector, you don't use report. In the EIB, you use report. That's the difference. Okay. Next is payroll integration. So in the payroll integration, we have two things. One is PeopleSoft and PG. PeopleSoft is nothing but payroll interface common output file. PG stands for payroll effective change interface. So if I'm teaching the PG, okay, I can also take one more thing called as VG. But this is something which is based on the time.
Arjun,
Yeah.
I have one bacha question. So to integrate for the payroll integration, do we need to know payroll module? It might
Yeah.
sound
Let me
confusing.
come over there. Let me come over there. Yeah. So we have two integrations. One is payroll input common output file, payroll effective change interface. So now this peak off, there is a lot of difference between peak off and PG. So we in this environment we can trigger the PG. Sorry, we can trigger the peak off, but we cannot trigger the PG because PG needs to be on the grid. There is some additional feature on the Workday data center. Your tenant, which you are using, should be hosted on the grid environment. So I'm not sure at this moment if our tenant is on grid or not. If it's on the grid, then we can launch the PG. If it's not on the grid, then we can configure the PG. So as part of this course, I'm going to show you both peak off and PG. Just for your note, peak off we can launch, PG unless and until it's on the grid. And also I'll check the other possibilities. If it's possible, then we can launch the PG. So it's only like last 5% or something, I cannot show, but we can discuss that as part of the theory. Yeah. Now coming to our friend's question, do we need to know the payroll functional module? No, that's not required. For the integrations, it's not required. Okay. So just we need to configure the pay group. So, the pay group configuration and giving the pay period status and assigning the pay periods, that knowledge we need to have. Yeah. But not the US payroll or UK payroll. That's not part of our work. Okay. Because payroll is huge, right? Payroll is huge. Now, again, payroll concepts, it's again a country specific. US payroll is different. India payroll is different. UK payroll is different. France payroll is different. There are so many country payrolls. We cannot go and learn each and every country payroll, right? Yeah. So there is no, it's nothing like, for the payroll integrations, you should know the payroll functional. Clear?
So this implies with every module, right?
Every module in the sense.
So we have a compensation, benefits, etc. So we have a different module. So integration with might happen with all the modules, right? So
See, now if you
mm,
take like benefits, right? You have some
mm.
benefit connectors. So you need to know at least some basic. Now, for example, in the payroll integration, you will send what? You will send the compensation details. You will send the compensation plans. You will send the one-time payment plans. So, as you guys have already learned HCM, at least you need to see that fields, right? What is that field? Where you are configuring that field. So, HCM is always essential for your testing purpose. So, if you don't know HCM, you cannot test the integration. I already said this in the beginning. So, HCM is always, it's important so that once you build your integration, you will test it how it is working. Okay. Yeah. Now coming to the sixth, XSLT, or we call it as document transformation. Maybe this one I can add it up after EIB also. Yeah. So XSLT is nothing but it's a document transformation in Workday. This is coding. So this is a third-party language. Okay, so just you can Google it out, XSLT. You get a lot of videos and lot of material and everything. On YouTube, so you can see a lot of training videos. So what this do? XML. So any integration in Workday generates the output file in the form of .xml. Now, if the target system needs the data in the text file, like comma separated or pipe delimiter format, right? Or CSV, then this XSLT will transform this .xml into the text file. We call it as transformation. XSLT will transform .xml into text file. Okay. So for this, we need to learn the coding. So I will teach the XSLT, that is for the core connectors. Okay, that is for the core connectors. And then we can go with the XSLT concepts. Then comes introduction to Studio. Studio is advanced integrations, guys. So I explained the studio and it's built on the Java based Eclipse. So it's always good to know a bit of Java for the studio. So I explained the introduction. I'm not going deeply into the studio because studio again is an advanced certification program in Workday and it takes like almost 1 month to complete end-to-end studio training. So I show you a basic things on the studio, what is what and all. And with that, we are going to end our course. They're clear, guys. So it's close to 25 to 30 hours of integration courses. Okay. Yeah. Now, any queries you have, or you want me to explain anything, or you have any ad hoc request, or is there anything which I'm missing, which you guys are interested in, or you want me to take up any additional chapters or any additional topic, or you know, feel free, guys, to ask me so I can add up. Any queries?
So Arjun, uh,
Hmm.
so, will it be any different if we are integrating with different modules with third party? So payroll integrations, compensation integration, benefits integration. So these are all like different.
Hmm. I lost your voice. I'm sorry if you're speaking. Okay, let me give you one clarity, guys. Now there are each and every module data needs to be sent, right? For example, if it's a recruitment, what is the recruitment generally? What does recruitment module does? Recruitment module is nothing but it's something about the creation of jobs or vacancies or positions, and you apply. For example, you apply something on naukari.com. The data will be sent to the company which has posted the job. How it is going, that means there will be some job there. You apply in Naukari, the next day, that particular company will call you. So how the data is flowing? It's through some job. So see, each and every module, you have the integration. So that doesn't mean that now means to build the recruitment based integration, I need to learn recruitment. See, at least when you're building it, you'll come to know the hands on there. I mean, you'll come to know the functionality of that. That's what the experience is. So initially, there can be some hiccups. I don't say like, it will be very smooth ride for everyone initially, but a knowledge of the functional now in the HCM, I'm pretty much sure you guys might have learned how do you create the position? How do you hire an employee, right? What is the difference between like between a position management and job management staffing models? If you know all these things, that's very a smooth ride on the integrations. But to be honest, if you don't know all these things, sometimes, whatever I'm explaining or whatever I'm doing on the integration, it can be something a showstopper for you guys. Okay, but it's not mandatory for you to means to build the payroll integrations. You should know 100% payroll. No, that's not the thing. Even I don't know the payroll. I don't know any country payroll. Even I don't know India payroll also. I just pay the tax. That's it. So, but I build a payroll integrations because there I know what it does, what payroll system needs. Integration is nothing but you're sending the required data from Workday to the payroll system. So you should understand there what the payroll system needs in order to process the worker payroll data. You're not going to process, I mean, you're not going to build the payroll functionality in system. If you want to build the payroll functionality, then you need to know the payroll module. But here you're only integrating the payroll data from Workday to the ADP. Whatever ADP needs in order to process the country's payroll, you're sending the data through payroll integration. So, just the basics of the payroll is enough, but you need not be a country expert or country SME, something like that. If you heard in that way, it's not the correct thing, in my opinion. Okay. So, then like you have many integrations. See, Workday has hundreds of integrations. Each and every module has so many connectors. Like it's very hard for anyone to learn all the modules, all the integrations, right? So, so whenever it comes, like we do it. Clear? I'm sorry, I don't know the name who asked me this question, but
It's me. Arjun, are you gonna teach us about the APIs and events?
it's on the studio. Yes,
So the rest
it's
and the
on.
soap.
Yes. So
REST
what
and
are the
SOAPs, SOAP
yes?
and REST APIs will be covered under web services, right? Workday Web
It's on the studio. In the introduction to studio, we cover the APIs. Yes,
Do we use
that's part of
SQL
it.
anywhere, Arjun, or it's just SOAP,
No,
REST,
no
SOAP?
SQL, no SQL at all.
Okay.
But you can correlate. I'll tell you when you can correlate it to SQL, but not into like See, Workday, we don't know what is happening behind the tenant. If you guys have already seen the tenant, you only configure it. You're using the Workday product. That's it. Or you're only configuring the product. But no one knows what is happening at the backside of the tenant, whether it's going on a SQL or it's going on a Java or full stack, we don't know, or Python, we don't know, because that is the main secret of the Workday. Not only Workday, any this cloud is this SaaS applications, right? We don't know what exactly is happening at the back end.
Okay.
Anything else, guys?
Arjun, do you cover web services?
Yeah, so just now I told, right? So APIs, web services, it's in the introduction to Studio. It's not like, I don't teach complete end-to-end on the web services or whatever, because that's again the Studio. It's not part of the integration course. I just show how do you select the web service, what is the response, from where you can see the details and all these things. Yes, those things I can do. But again, the postman authentication, this, that, and all, there are few limitations because this is the training environment. Even Workday won't allow you to hit some external web services, right? So those things, see, in the complete course, guys, I'm telling you, there are like 5 to 10%. We have some restrictions. I hope you understand that. And also, I'm telling in advance because there'll be few limitations for the training environment and the original Workday environment. Few things we cannot hit. Now, if I want to hit some external system and then pull the data, few things will not happen here because limitations. So those things, but I'll explain you the concept. It's not like I don't explain. I explain in the concept, but some things we cannot proceed. Now, if I want to pull the data from a Avadco system, okay, say for example, I need to have the Avadco credentials, right? I need to have their API, that original API. I cannot, even though I have the original API, you may see some connection issues from this tenant to that API. So, these will be the challenges actually sometimes. So you all are from one group or what exactly it is, or you all are different people? Still, I'm not clear with that.
Same coaching center.
Okay. Coaching
So
center in
I
the sense
think
like
no, we are
We
a
all
mix
are
of
from HCM
multiple
batch.
groups. Yeah.
multiple groups. Okay. Okay, fine. So you got
Um,
trained on HCM?
yeah.